Death Climb Games. I think we're here. I'm going to try again. So anyway, this is RPG, solo RPG. I'm not sure I'm actually connected yet either. I'm going to go and check.
You are connected now.
All right, cool. So we're doing a solo RPG game development. I'm also, what I was saying, I thought I was live and I was in the middle of saying something. I think it was like, the fact is,
You are connected.
it's going to be for more than one player in the end. I want to design it so one player can play it and have fun, but also a bunch of people can also play it. Yeah, it does look like it's live. All right, cool. Super happy. So anyway, welcome to the process. Basically what I'm going to do today is just go through and play one. I'm just going to play it. You know, since it's solo, we'll see what happens. I actually had fun. I played one yesterday. I used the characters from Gilligan's Island, and they had a giant monster, a giant unicorn. It was Hornsby. He was from our other game, Chomp and Stomp. I've decided to, like, even though this was inspired by Chomp and Stomp, thank you, Loren. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, even though this was inspired by Chomp and Stomp, it's a different game now. It really is. It's totally different, kind of even in spirit. I know it's a monster movie game, but the other one was really like a war game. So we decided to rename this to Kaiju Quest. We'll see how that goes. I'm pretty happy about it. We'll see. My only issue with Kaiju Quest is the quest part of the name. Like, is it really a quest? Kind of. It does evoke that you're on an RPG, but I don't know about quest because I think that, like, maybe says something that the game doesn't necessarily deliver, but I'm still not sure on it. I haven't, like, decided on it yet. Whether that I know something about it is weird, but I like it. I still like Kaiju Quest. It sounds cool. So there you go. So maybe I'm just going to have to get over it because it's a cool sounding name. Isn't that the rule of cool, though? I think that is. On the TV I read about that, it's like, you can go ahead and just do something that's not quite, you know, what would happen in the world as long as it's really, really cool. So that might apply here. It sounds cool, like the idea of it with Scribble Quest as a sequel. Yeah, I do like the idea of having a sort of keyword in there. That's true. Scribble Quest and Kaiju Quest. Yeah, Lorraine came up with a really good idea for Scribble Quest. It's a game we've been working on together for a long time. It's never quite like gotten to a game that we want to play together yet. And that's kind of the challenge of it too, right? So, yeah, she had a really good idea on it. Yeah, we might even have to have another stream to develop Scribble Quest, actually. It's not a bad idea. Anyway, just chilling right now for a second, then I'm going to start. I'll probably go through the document first and then start a playtest, actually. After I have a little bit of coffee. I've kind of started realizing that since it's a role-playing game stream, like, I know I still have to, you know, explain things and stuff, but it is also more chill. Like, it's, you know, like playing a role-playing game. You don't just have to be, like, just on it, you know. So I don't know. I'm not sure how that approach goes, but I think, I mean, maybe displaying, like, the vibe of actually how I feel playing the game is probably better than, like, trying to make a show. I'm not really sure at this point. I'll think about it. Once again, is the music volume all right for you in there? Yeah, I like it. It sounds good. I can just kind of hear it in the background. It maybe could be a tiny bit louder, like maybe one level louder. This coffee's super good, though. Me and Loren are coffee snobs, so here we go. Monster creation phase. Yeah, so that's one of the big changes I made in the initial, I think I added that.
How's that?
That's pretty good. I'll let you know. Maybe down one.
Down one. Okay.
Just like one. What a music sound. Just down one volume.
Yeah.
Really, seriously. I'm pretty
No,
bad.
I know, but it makes a big difference.
It does make a big difference sometimes. I know, it's true. Monster creation
Sometimes
phase.
they even do it different on the computer versus the speaker.
Yeah, me too. Because it's different. It sounds different. Maybe we're just snobs in everything, Loren.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel that possibly could be true. That's going to help you guys for games, though, because we're going to make, like, super fucking snobby ass games. They're going to be, like, handcrafted and shit. Artisanally baked. They're going to be artisanally baked. It is. I'm kind of baked a little bit. Artisanally. I'm artisanally baked. Monster creation phase. All right, so this is my notes up here. In this font right here is my notes from last session. I always want to like kind of go over those before I start. So yeah, initially Chomp and Stomp was about you discovering a monster as you played. But that also puts a lot of, once again, part of what I'm trying to do on this game is to take a lot of the like load off of the player, all of the work. They should feel like it's easy to play. I think a lot of RPGs aren't like that. There's a lot of rules and stuff. And I have fun with those kind of RPGs. Don't get me wrong. If I had more time, I would probably play them. Like what did I get? Iron Sworn. I mean, it looks cool as hell. It has great, I think, great solo rules. I'd be interested to actually play it, but there is a significant time investment in getting started. You have to learn the rules and like kind of, it is difficult to start. I think there's a tiny bit of a learning curve, but as low as possible with that kind of game, honestly. And I'd say if I was younger and had more time, I would probably play it. But now I have to make one where the idea of this game, I guess, is that you jump right into the game. You don't have to do any prep. You just go and just play. So it's kind of tough. There is some sacrifices to be made with that, and it's true. But also, it's the only kind of game I can actually play right now. I'm gonna make this not italics, by the way. I don't know why I did that. I wanted to make it like, I thought maybe I'd have keywords as italics, but I don't think that's gonna happen. All right, anyway. All right, so the monster setup phase. Did I add that for setting the scene? Let me see. So anyway, what I was saying was the monster originally was something that you sort of discovered as you played, and I mean that's a cool idea. But I think this one is gonna be more like you see the monster up front. You see what the threat is. You see what the monster is. You bring in a monster already knowing what it is. Maybe you discover properties about it. Maybe it does things you don't expect, but at the same time, I think you're going to know what the monster is up front. And that's part of the choice to take some of the like cognitive process off the player. I think they should just sort of get to experience the story without feeling like they're even creating it. And that's the basic idea. All right, let's check it out. Anyway, so the monster creation scene, where's that going to be? Let me see. So setting the scene. The monster we brought into someone. All right. Where is the monster created, though? I think it has to be in the setup. Setting of the monster movie, then we'll put the monster here. A monster creation phase. So you'll know what the monster is, before the game starts, really. It's like it's on the cover. You know what the monster is. I guess in those, it's not a secret monster, right? Hey, Bowman, how you doing, man? Welcome. Yeah, I'm just going through my notes from last time. I actually had fun playing the game yesterday, so I'm kind of excited about it. That's always the part of the game where it gets cool, when you actually start having fun, and it starts becoming an actual game, which is also something I'm excited about. Anyway, here we go. So I'm going to add a monster setup phase. I said now write an entry for the monster. You can use any monster from movies or your imagination. All right. Or create your own. I think I'm going to have some sort of monster creator in the appendix. We'll see. I don't know. Monster creator in the appendix. All right, that's it for setup. So, yeah, I'll expand those rules as I need them. At least they're there now. There is rules for creating a monster. So we do need that. We needed a monster creation phase. All right. Monster event within the obstacle phase. Let's go look at that phase real quick. So it's not called the obstacle phase anymore either. It's called the failure phase. A monster event somehow causes the success or failure, maybe. Let's see here. A monster event. What do I mean by that? I can't remember. Now I wrote that note yesterday. I'm actually like, what did I actually mean by that? I think I found that in the playtest yesterday. I guess I could look at that even. No, where is it? No, I won't. I won't mess with it right now. I'm trying to find something in the file right now. No way. There was something. It felt like the monster wasn't necessarily in the movie enough. I think there does have to be like a monster. You know, it does something in some of the scenes. And I'm not sure how to, yeah, okay. I'm not sure how to do that. The obstacle phase, you know, I'm going to add a note to that. Actually, no, I'm not going to add to that. Anyway, the next note was players can up the stakes on each decision. Somehow, like add to the peril and influence the success roll. Yeah, I did like that. It does feel. I think it would be a lot more fun if it felt a little bit more like gambling. I guess, like if you were feeling lucky, you could really go for it. But if you failed, then there were worse penalties, so to speak. Okay, I don't know how to add that in, but as I play, maybe I'll think of places I could put that in, or how I can put that in. I've already been thinking that the rewards and successes, like to start, actually maybe I need to change this. I'm going to start with just this. The types of goals and peril. So that's the goals. We're going to use these for later, maybe more advanced stuff. So I'll actually change the color on the text here. What about that? How's that look? There we go. These will be for later. All right, so the ones you can do at first, I'm going to do it this way. I think I see what's happening here. R removed. And it's going to be X dice. I know we're not going to leave this as algebra in the final rule set, but since that's the actual, that's what's actually happening here. For now, I'm going to just represent it that way. And then later I can fix the rules or whatever. All right, so the types of goals I think you can choose from right now is this. X is based on the scene number, maybe? Maybe half the scene number? I'll have to think about that. Okay, so then failure, though. What are the failures we're going to use now? We're going to use these once again. Oh, wait. A hero dies removed. That's a good failure one. We'll cut that one. All right. All right, a monster die is added. That's another one we'll use as a basic. We'll use the other ones later, maybe. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible at first to kind of figure out the mechanics. A character faces peril. Yeah, that's one that's going to be a basic. Yeah, I think that has to be a basic one. You always have to feel like your characters, potentially they could die. You know, that could happen anytime. Otherwise, there's no, like, tension. Oh, I should put this at the beginning also. Whoops. All right.
Sean.
Yeah.
I wrote one.
Trade places.
You use it now, I know.
Oh, trade places with someone in peril. Like that could be an advanced one, but yeah. Trade places. I'm just going to put that.
Places with who's in peril, you know.
Trade who is in peril.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. That's a good idea. I'm just going to think of I want to just brainstorm. This isn't going to be stuff, but whenever I think of something that could be a power or a penalty, I'm going to put it on these. But to start, we're going to have these as the baseline for developing the mechanic, basically. So, and then for the failure, I'm going to do this. A hero dies removed, a monster dies added, a character faces peril. So a character could be killed. Let me see. There's not a lot of other monster ones, but I'll just still change it. So maybe I need to think of more monster ones actually. These will be the ideas for ones when I get a little bit more into it. Welcome, Bowman. Just turned the sound on. Bowman's like, yeah, I just turned the sound on just to see how it's going, but it might be going off again. I hear you. I understand. Yeah. At some point, maybe use welcome. Anyway, how you doing, man? At some point, maybe use a resource to avoid peril. Yeah, I think so. There's got to be a way. No. The whole peril mechanic, there's going to be a lot of ways that's going to change and stuff. And also, peril's going to have a number. A character faces peril of X. Each one of those is a die that if you roll a 6 on, the character dies. So you have more of a chance the more dice you roll of dying. The higher the number, the more peril you're in. And we'll say X, monster dice are added. I should say dice instead of monster die, but hey, whatever. It's funny, the hero dice are already, there's not very many of them. I might have to change how many the hero starts with. It does feel like, well, last game, I only played one game, so we'll see. That's just balancing stuff. I'm not going to worry too much about it. All right, so that's the failure. So that's what we're going to do. The basics are going to be monster dice are removed, hero dice are added, and then hero dice are removed, monster dice are added. Faces peril. Last game, I had this thing where maybe you can find hero dice somehow in the environment. Yeah, the environment. So basically, each scene, the way the game, there is an environment, there's a setting, but basically each turn consists of you deciding, at this point, this is what the game is right now. Each turn is you coming up with a scenario where the character succeeds and what his reward will be, which will be one of these two things, right? And then you come up with a failure scenario and what the peril will be, and then you roll to see if they succeed or fail. So yeah, there's the way they get hero dice is through whether they succeed or fail at whatever they're trying to do. Their goal of the scene, which is at the very beginning of the scene, you set your goal. And then you decide what happens on success. You decide what happens on failure. Then you roll the die. And it's just one die. It's just 1 to 3, 4 to 6. 1 to 3 you succeed, 4 to 6 you fail. I might change the mechanics of that, obviously. That could be something where your success or failure is based on other resources, I'm not sure. I haven't decided that yet. You guys are talking about Fortnite, yeah. We just have our guy on AFK and creative, and we're just gaining experience points. We're not even really playing. It's kind of weird. It's become some sort of idle game. Talk about game design. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. The game design of Fortnite. Anyway, so yeah, here, success. Last time we played, I had 1 to 2 was success. 4 to 6 was failure. It was too much failure. The hero failed every time. It was a Gilligan's Island theme. So yesterday what happened was Gilligan and his love interest was Ginger. Okay. His antagonist was Professor, and Skipper was his sidekick. Did I already say that? No, never mind. Anyway, in the very opening scene, Ginger was swept out to sea and died. It was a rough beginning. Gilligan became filled with bitterness and vowed to kill Hornsby. The skipper was blinded. Gilligan charged out to sea and in a senseless, threw away his life basically. It was just it really got dark. The professor became some sort of megalomaniac who ruled the island afterwards with an iron fist, So yeah, it's tough. Today, I'm hoping a little bit more success will hopefully maybe help the story out a little bit. Who knows though? It could be me. We're gonna see. I still had fun though. It was still a fun story. I know it sounds bad, but it was actually fun. It was funny to see, for some reason, the Gilligan's Island crew going through such hardship. I guess I was this was a darker side of Gilligan's Island that I'd never seen. It was kind of it was like a reboot or whatever. Anyway, yeah, Lorenz said, if it's easy to die, especially when rolling more dice, there should be more ways of getting the characters out of peril. That's the stuff that's fun narratively to do. Yeah, yesterday's Kaiju Quest was honestly, it was really tough. It was a tough emotional journey. Gilligan's Island will never be the same. Yeah, it was tough. I don't know what's going to happen today. I can't, guarantee such high drama, especially with a little higher success rate. Watch, we'll find out that a higher success rate makes the game way less fun. You know what I mean? Yeah, the skipper, yeah, he was blinded, and then the professor gave him a lobotomy. Yeah. Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, no one turned out okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, the professor's actually, the skipper's still alive even. Yeah, that's the worst part, maybe. He's alone with the professor on the island. You just can imagine right now that that's just terrible. All right, so with the new rules here, let's start. I'm going to use the default characters today, which I'm, just giving a try to. Chuck, Skip, Donna, and Montague. I decided to have a set of default characters just in case people didn't want to make them up or import them, so I might as well use them and see if they actually work. If you feel like they're real people or not. I don't know. Broken. Yeah, hopefully this game, it'll be more of a fun monster movie where people aren't broken husks, devoid of all humanity at the end of the game. Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens, you guys. I can't guarantee anything. As always. I feel like my imagination is maybe a little grim. There's a tiny bit of darkness there. Let's see. What do you need to play a game? So I'm starting again. I'll go through. To keep playing Chomp and Stomp. Oh, we've changed the name now, by the way. So our old name was Chomp and Stomp. That was the older game we made, a board game. This is going to be Kaiju Quest. For now. If I think of something better. But I kind of like it. So actually I should change the whole title. We changed the name. We're probably going to change, everything 5 different times. I should capitalize that, but maybe not. Maybe that's the pineapple on the burger, so to speak. Yeah, Chuck, Skip, Donna, and Monty are about to become legends. Yeah, legends of the silver screen, right? All right, here we go. At minimum, you need a notebook, a journal, a Word document as a log. This is where events are noted and actions taken. Here we go, episode 8. Here's where they are taken over here in the log. This pink document here. Also, a bunch of 6-sided dice. 10 dice for the monster and 5 for the protagonist. You're actually going to need more, so I should change that. I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave X here because that's going to change a bunch. So we're going to use algebra here, everyone. You thought you'd never use it in real life. I don't even think this is real algebra. This isn't even real algebra. I got so good at algebra that I don't even have to follow the laws of reality anymore. What you will do, the game is designed to play right away. Just read on and follow the instructions as you go. So that is my design goal, basically. That's my design goal. And I keep saying it kind of to myself, maybe. So I don't forget. First, the setup. Okay, there are 2 parts to the setup. Oh, there's 3 parts now. I'm glad I'm going through this. There's literally 3 parts now. There are 3 parts to the setup. Character, setting. Characters, setting, and monster. You need to create or use 4 characters that will fill 4 roles in the story and write them into the log as the first entry. So we're writing the characters first. Let's do it. Who are our characters? The protagonist. Let's go down to our default character here because he's already not quite enough of a person for me to remember who he is. It's Chuck. And maybe I can see why. He's the janitor at the research lab. Okay. His main goal is to gain status and be seen as a competent individual. I guess I'll add these notes on here so I remember who these people are. We just came up with him. We can change these characters too if we come up with better stuff as we play. I'm thinking, I want them to become fuller, richer humans. Seen as a competent individual. Uh-oh. I'm not projecting or anything. Oh no. Alright, since that was the protagonist, the sidekick is Skip. Skip the sidekick. Maybe I'll call him. They have to grow up sooner or later. Who are you guys talking about? Okay. Oh, for the kids.
Children.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure if children played the game, it would turn out differently. I doubt the skipper would have been lobotomized. I really don't. Who knows? Actually, kids' imagination is really dark. Have you ever read Roald Dahl? For Christ's sake. I was scarred by those books. Loved them, by the way, though. The Witches, like, scarred me. I was scared by that book. I still have fond memories of being scared by it. Why do I have fond memories of being scared by the book? All right, he lives for hedonism. So he is the... Oh, he's the cook. Okay. All right, so he's a hedonist. He doesn't need... That's his goal, is hedonism. That's all I need to say, right? And then we're going to have Donna, the love interest. She exists only as a love interest. Yeah, that could be a problem. That's not sensitive, honestly. And she's a super hot scientist working on research. Maybe I need to... I'll just say scientist. There's no need to say she's super hot, right? But she is. Her goal is to make a breakthrough in mutant research. Whoops. Okay. Donna the love interest, and the antagonist is Montague. I think that's a great antagonist name, honestly. Montague, the antagonist, director of research. He has to be a director of something, right? Yeah. And he wants power and control of all under him. Okay. So there we go. We have those. That's the default characters. We're going to use those for the monster movie. You like the goals? Yeah, it's good to have them have like sort of like a, what do they call it? What's my motivation, right? My motivation. There you go. Like what they're even doing in life. And that's what they're doing. All right, so that was that part. Now we go to the next step. You can just go step by step, which is kind of the cool thing. That's how I organize the rules. All right, first setting. Oh, no, that's not right. We got to do setup first. I just skipped over that. All right, put any characters you like for these roles. Use the pre-made characters provided. That's what we did. There are no stats, but the characters should feel real to you. I mean, they will eventually. You should be able to say how they would react in a given situation. I kind of can. Yeah, okay. Next, write a log entry for the setting for your monster movie. It can also be monster story. I'm going to say story. Let's do that. It can also be anywhere that you are familiar with and can picture easily. Or use the default setting in the appendix. Let's go use the default setting in the appendix. That is what? Oh, wait. Where is the default setting? I'm going to have to organize this maybe a little bit better. All right. Default setting. Tropical island in the Pacific on a research lab. I have one sentence of setting right now. We're going to use that. I could fill that out a little more possibly. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I fill out the setting a little bit more? All right. Oh, you brought pizza, Bowman? Nice. That's like RPG related. Like that pizza and like playing RPGs. I'm glad you did that. That's like, their stereotypes exist for a reason, right? Well, probably because pizza's just kind of good. We just had pizza the other day. It was really like yummy. Oh, dude. That's like my favorite pizza. No way. Did you do that just to like make me jealous? Is that what you're doing here? Wow, man. Like I'm totally jealous. Tropical island. Look, there'd be pineapple on the pizza there too. In the Pacific. At a research lab. So that's the setting. That's all we have right now. Maybe I don't need to go too far with that. Otherwise, here's a default setting to jump right in. I think the funny part is that you'll go to the appendix to get like one sentence. Maybe that's not right. I might want to think of that. All right, maybe I'm going to write a little note here. Add to scene. Okay. Add default scene, sorry, not just a scene. Otherwise, I won't know what that means. Oh, no, stop it. Stop it, computer. Stop it. The computer. Why? I like how the computers in Star Trek, you can actually, they actually talk to you. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Like, computer, can you do this? They're like, I'm afraid not, loser. And you're just like, wow, that's awesome. Sorry, it's really good. Don't apologize for pizza, Bowman. Don't do it. It's not right. Eat your pizza proudly. Just say to hell with you, buddy. Hate if you want. I mean, pizza. All right, where am I at? I did get distracted, though. Thinking about it, I'm distracted now. I'm supposed to say, all right. Setting the scene now. Yeah, that's it for setup. Oh, now we have to do the monster. What monster we're using. So monster. Oh, I should have a... Okay. So the default monsters are going to be our chomp and stomp monsters, though. I am going to bring those forward, right? I haven't made default monsters up to now, but we are. So we're going to have Pixodon, Tentacleave, Hornsby, and Terra. What the heck was his name now? I can't remember the flying monster's name. Oh no. Does anybody remember the flying monster's name? Pterodon or something?
I wrote it. Look at the...
Oh, Laserdactyl. Thank you.
You asked the question and you told
Oh, I didn't see it in time. Yeah, Laserdactyl. Thank you. All right, so those, I'll write more descriptions for people who, you know, for those few people who never played Chomp and Stomp, you know, so that they know what those monsters are, right? So we'll do that. But for now, what monster I'm going to use? I'll explain what they are. Which one? Here, let's see. I think we should use, in the Pacific, I think maybe Laserdactyl. Because I forgot about him. I'm going to use Laserdactyl. He can fly around and laser things. I think that's perfect. So Laserdactyl, he's a pterodon. Giant pterodon, right? That fires lasers out of his eyes. With a Z. Lasers with a Z, yeah. Yeah, so Laserdactyl's coming out. And so basically that's Laserdactyl. I think you can get a kind of a picture. You know, there he is. So we'll have him. That's the monster. So that's the default monster as well. All right, cool. That's actually not too difficult. So that's the setup. That's it for setup. I probably took longer on setup than anyone ever needs to, honestly. But I'm talking at the same time, so you know. Yeah, Laserdactyl's coming back, guys. It's just sad to spell laser without a Z. I know, isn't it? Doesn't it sort of feel bad? Yeah, I don't like feeling bad. I don't want anyone to have to do that. You know what I mean? Now, for the game itself. Like the old monster movies, the building block of this game is the scene. Each scene is made up of 5 parts. Setting the scene... Oh, I never wrote the 5 parts. That's awesome. Setting the scene and goal. Maybe I should just leave it like that. I'll just say it's 5 parts and there's literally listed... There's 2 listed. I think that would be just really amazing. I got to remember that the goal of this document is not to like mess with people though. Okay, so it's set the scene goal, success, failure, and resolve. Okay, that's what they're called. I should put question marks there because that's kind of, they're asking what success looks like, what failures looks like, and then you resolve whether you get success or failure. Once the scene is complete, a new scene is begun. Is that right? Once the scene is complete, a new scene is begun. Began? Wait, I don't know. Until the climactic scene, in which the dice are rolled and our protagonist lives heroically or dies tragically. There are 10 scenes. The 10th scene is the climax, although the player can face the monster anytime before the 10th scene whenever they are ready. So I added that. Usually, we didn't quite make it to 10 scenes last time. The final is an epilogue detailing how the living characters feel about things and what they're doing now. You know, it'll be like, Skipper now runs this car dealership, you know, on the south side of town, where he shacks up with, you know, his love, Mr. Howell or whatever. What was the guy's name? What was the millionaire's name? Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, so you do that. Epilogue. All right. Now that you know the basic structure, let's get going. I was like, yeah, let's get going. I have to keep saying that. I feel like if you are reading the rules and you're playing by yourself and, you know, maybe you're just fucking, you know, high or whatever, you're going to need stuff like that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep that in there. You need an opening scene to kick off the action and get the cycle of scenes rolling. This will be scene 1. Scene 1. I'm going to go ahead and label that scene 1. Setting the scene. Yes. All right, so I'll write that as like setting. Maybe I'll even have abbreviations eventually, maybe like S or whatever. But I do want to actually write these and organize it. The first scene, you'll be your protagonist and one other character. Choose one based on your interest or just roll randomly. Write the characters' names in the log. Next, all right, so we're going to write the setting the scene. We're going to write the characters. Who's there first? So it's going to be Chuck and somebody else. Maybe Chuck and Donna. Maybe we should set up the whole Chuck and Donna thing. Let's do it. It's Chuck and Donna. They're going to be in the scenes. All right, next, answer these questions about the characters and write them in the log. Let's do it. What are the characters doing? Oh, goodness. What kind of story is this? As with all the answers to these questions, don't think too much or try to be creative. Oh. Just go with the first thing that comes to mind. What are they doing should arise naturally from the setting and the kind of people they are. I mean, I'm imagining she's like working on test tubes, right? So the thing that comes to mind immediately is that, she's like looking at a beaker or whatever. At a beaker. And Chuck's trying to talk to her. Is what I'm saying. Are you guys, Thomas? Oh, towel. Nice.
I just, no.
All right, you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Chuck's trying to talk to her. Okay, that's what's happening. That's what the characters are doing. Then a monster will be brought in and somehow interact with the characters. Does it attack? Do they see it in the distance? The first thing that comes to mind, you can bring in a monster or create one of your own. Then begin the gameplay loop. All right, so a monster's brought in to interact. So they're in the lab. How is Laser Dactyl going to interact? Well, obviously, I think he lasers the roof off the building. All right, so when Chuck's trying to talk to her, she is kind of trying to ignore him. She is only interested in Chads, right? All right. So Laser Dactyl lasers off the roof. All right, Laser Dactyl lasers off the roof. Okay, and like roof pieces come tumbling down. All right, that's the setting. We're setting the scene. They were just chilling and talking. The deciding incident is that, she was annoyed with Chuck annoying her, and then suddenly Laser Dactyl comes, lasers the roof. Roof pieces are falling all over the place. All over the place. All right, so those are, when I'm making these things up, I am trying to go with that and just make it the very first thing that just I see in my mind related to the setting and stuff. So I don't want it to be hard to do the game. I just want to be able to kind of enjoy this story. Maybe she's just interested in doing her job. And it's kind of weird they have no warning. Like monster tracks or seismic shit. Like literally that he just comes and lasers the ceiling. I think that's maybe it. It's like a surprise. Like he's maybe not even going to stay there. You know what I mean? It's just the first thing that happened. I hear you though. Like my stories get pretty weird. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even sure how this is going to work. So here we go to the goal of the scene. That's the setting. I'd say Chuck's goal. So the goal is always, I guess I should maybe make this clear. The goal is always sort of with the protagonist. I guess I should say who the goal has, maybe. I'll say Chuck. I'll say because maybe the other characters could have a goal. So I'm going to leave that open. Wants to get him and Donna to safety and look like a hero. A Chadley hero. In the process. All right, so that's his goal. So then I look and see what success is and failure would look like here. All right. There's rarely amping up, but maybe that's okay for a shorter play test. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I should have some sort of rules eventually about You know, instead of just getting... Although sometimes opening scenes are really, like, dramatic. And then they have the slow parts later. So, I don't know. I will say... I'm going to write that as a note, though, as a question mark. You know, maybe have amping up instead of... I'll just say maybe have amping up of the scenes in intensity. That's something I'm... intensity. That's something I've thought of... I can't spell anymore. I'm just going to leave that alone. That's something I've thought of in relation to the rewards and stuff, too. So, you know, that is something I want to do. All right. Bowman's like, they could have heard the gigantic wings flapping through the air. Yeah. If Laserdactyl just attacks right off the bat, there's no chance for tension to build. Well, here's the deal. I was thinking, I've already kind of thought like a little bit that he attacks and then leaves. And there's like the tension of like, you know, they don't know where he is or whatever. But now they know what he can do. He can shoot stuff. But yeah. You know, and this is the kind of thing where eventually I want the game, maybe us all to be able to play the game. And that's when we would like discuss what happens. Instead of me just deciding, right? We would all say, what do you guys think happens? And then we'd maybe brainstorm. And then there'd have to be a way for us to come to like a consensus about what would happen too. And I think there could be fun in that game too. Because then you definitely wouldn't really know where the story was going to go every time. Because it's like a conglomeration of all of you that's creating the story, you know? You know? Upon hearing the wings, you could roll to go outside or stay in the building. Right. Well, that's what this part is right here. So success and failure. So Chuck's goal is here is he wants to get him and Donna to safety and look like a Chadley hero. So success would be he grabs Donna by the shoulder or something and pulls her away from a falling rock. Then whisking her outside. All right? That would be success. Failure. What would that look like? Chuck trips over the mop bucket. And Donna is in peril. Peril. We'll say 1, though. From the falling ceiling. I did this last time though. Ginger was in peril 1, and like you only die if you roll a 6, but like she died. So we'll see. This peril's no joke. Like it happens. All right, so that's what success and failure looks like. Then we resolve it. Let's go to the resolve scene. Okay. And so resolve. The player rolls 1 die to decide between the 2 paths. Okay, it's just a straight 50-50 right now. I'm thinking about different mechanics for that, but yeah. Yeah, the player rolls 1 die. Okay, so failure, react. React. Formulate the next goal based on what happened. So one of these 2 things is going to happen, and the reaction is going to be their plan for what to do next. That's the basic setup of the thing. Yeah, you can have the failure be anything. If you want pieces to the roof fall on them, yeah, that's true. You could totally do that. Oh, Death Clams, Loren. Maybe each of the monsters gives us some kind of signal, like flapping wings, but maybe whether or not the characters realize that is up to the players. Like maybe they sense the signals or not. Maybe there's like, well, that's the other thing I've thought of at some point is like maybe structuring the game into like make it very structured. Like maybe it's even the same kinds of scenes each time. I don't know if I want to railroad it too much. I want kind of anything to happen. So this is the trade-off, you know. If you want anything to happen, there's going to be less structure. The more structure you get, sort of the less like possibilities, but the more, I don't know, focused it is kind of. So I'm trying to find a good balance between that. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking about that. Because right now, like, the game is very simple, right? Because, in fact, right now, here it is. Success or failure. 1 to 3, he succeeds. 4 to 6, he fails. Oh, geez, he fails.
Oh.
So, failures. All right, now we're going to see if Donna dies. She's in peril. She's in peril 1. So, if I roll a 6, she dies. Okay, 2. Whew. She doesn't die. Thank goodness. All right, pieces of tile. All right, so Chuck trips over the thing. Chuck trips while pieces of tile and plaster fall all around. Let's say maybe Donna's hit on the shoulder. And falls down. I think he still whisks them outside. Chuck finally gets them outside. Oh, you know what I didn't do, guys? I missed an important part of the actual turn, which is that you actually have to decide which of these things are going to be applied. So I'm just going to go back and retroactively do that. But success would have mean he got a hero die. Hero dice. And failure means he loses one. Because I'm going to keep it very simple. But I'm also going to keep each scene... I'm going to escalate the rewards as you go through the scenes, but I'm not sure how to do that just yet. So maybe I'll just do it by scene. But then you could end up getting like 8... Nah, never mind. I won't do it like that. Okay, I got it. The first 3 scenes are 1. Second 3 are 2. Third 3 are 3. I'm just going to write that. On success and failure. Types of goals to choose from. Let's write that as a note here. So scenes 1 to 3, x equals 1. That's just for now. 7 to 9, I guess. Because scene 10, it would be different. It's a different thing. So that's a simple way of doing it to start off with. All right, anyway. So the perils 1, I'll pair it for scenes 1 to 3. And then it ramps up as you go. There, that's a simple way of doing that. Let's see how it works. Chuck finally gets him outside. So he loses a hero dice. So he starts off with 5. The monster starts off with 10, right? And then Chuck, oh, this is so sad. He loses one of his precious hero dice because he looks like a big chump. Finally gets him outside. All right, we'll say Donna winces in pain and stares at him reproachfully. All right. So now, after that happens, the ceiling was knocked down. Laserdactyl shot some lasers. Maybe they see him, actually. They should see the Laserdactyl. They see the giant pterodon fly away over the sea. Wondering where it's going. I should have dialogue at some point. Okay. So there we go. So now their action, now that that's occurred, they think, what am I going to do next? Now there's a giant pterodactyl. I'm feeling like they go talk to the director about what they saw, and we get to meet the antagonist. You know, that seems like what they would decide to do to Montague. What to do? They're going to look for guidance from authority first. You know what I mean? So that was scene number 1. Scene 1, nice. Now we go to scene 2. All right, this will be setting. This will be Chuck, Donna, and Montague. And they are in Montague's office. He is annoyed at being disturbed. Right? He's a dick. And wants to get through this as quickly as possible. Alright? Oh wait, no, he's not annoyed at being disturbed. The ceiling got knocked off the thing. I think he'd know that there was a problem. Loren said, when the negative effect isn't always the most awful, it makes him seem more real. I like that Donna stared at him reproachfully. Right, he suffered social consequences. I think the last game I made him suffer physical injury every time, And I think that as I watch, more things with this in mind, I realize that the failure of the characters is usually like a lot of times a social consequence or whatever. So we'll see. Bowman said, weird thought, since you can change any character situation, as it is a bit of a universal thought game, you could essentially call it the hero's journey. I mean, you could make a super general one. This one is more, I'm going to gear this more toward a final confrontation with the monster. It really does have that as its central basis, which is a little maybe different than the hero's journey. I'm not sure. Maybe not, because it's like a preparation for a climax where it's like a do or die moment, which maybe you could actually, actually now that you think about it. I mean, the hero's journey is always there. I think it's like a ancient storytelling structure, it's just one of those things. I don't know if you can even avoid it if you wanted to. All right, there's in Montague's office. He is on like 2 phones and wonders and is super busy. How about that? All right. Of course, they ran to his office. I'm sure he doesn't have like other shit to do, but we do have to introduce the antagonist. All right, so let's go back up and like follow the instructions again. All right. What are they doing? So we answer what they're doing. Oh, that was the first part. That was the first, I need to have rules for subsequent turns beyond the first. Didn't realize that was a problem. Oops. Okay. Subsequent turns beyond the first. I'm kind of obsessed with the archetype. Well, I think for good reason. I think it's like a super like deep in the human experience is the hero's journey. Like even for things that don't even seem like huge and heroic, that's just what people go through, I think. Or, at least it's how stories set it up, Coffee. All right, so they're in the office. So I need to do that. So the monster doesn't necessarily appear here. Now we just come up with the goal. So we set the scene here. We don't do that part, and then we come up with the goal. Okay. I'll have to fix that kind of. Goal. Chuck wants help. Direction about what to do. How about? About the monster. I'm not sure. Yeah, them coming to the office seems dumber and dumber also. Almost. All right, success. All right, let's say... So he's the antagonist. So Montague's the antagonist, though. So how could this go well? Like, either way, he has to set himself up as... Okay, I would think that he would sort of absent-mindedly... success is evasive with information. But absent-mindedly gives them the okay to like research in the lab. Them the okay to investigate. How about that?
Yeah.
And failure. So what would that give them? That would give them, once again, hero dice. It would be 1 hero die. Just sort of an advantage. Failure. Is angry. If they fail, it's angry at being disturbed. And actively tells them to ignore the monster. All right?
That's good.
And so that lose 1 hero dice.
I'm going to get a snack.
Oh, yeah?
Do you want anything?
Do I have dandruff?
It's, no, cat fur.
I have cat fur?
Yeah.
There's no avoiding that.
No.
Yeah, so he is acting kind of shady about the whole thing, right? Oh, do I want to, can I have tea? I just want tea.
Okay.
When you come back,
I'll
that's
make
fine.
you make them
Yeah,
back,
don't worry
yeah.
about that. Yeah, I'm good as far as food goes. Thanks, though.
Yeah.
So that's success and failure. So let's resolve that. All right, let's do it. So 1 to 3, he succeeds. 4 to 6, he fails. A 3. Oh, finally, success. Tigyu is so busy, he absent-mindedly signs off on them to investigate as a team, right? This is going to put him together. Donna is exasperated at having to team up with such a loser. But Chuck is pumped. He's pumped. All right, so we get to hero dice. We're back up to like where we started. So that's scene 2. All right, so what do they decide to do? So I think what happens is Donna suggests they get evidence that they can bring to the lab to research. So that'll add to the next. That'll go to the next scene. So that's what they decide to do. So at the end of the scene, basically, they decide to do something. So we go to scene 3. The setting, and once again, you know, I haven't seen Skip around, so I'm not sure what he's doing. I'm not really sure. All right, setting. All right, so scene 3, they're on the beach. I'm gonna say, Chuck and Donna. Chuck and Donna on the beach. So Chuck and Donna are on the beach, looking for evidence of Laserdactyl. All right, the goal of the scene. Find something useful to tell them about the monster. That's the goal. And Chuck wants to impress Donna. All right, so this is the last one consequence scene, basically. All right. So that's the goal. Let's see what success would look like. So he wants to find something. Well, they obviously find something. I would say Laserdactyl. Probably Laserdactyl poop. Find, right, a giant pile of Laserdactyl poop. To bring to the lab. All right, yeah, and we'll see even Chuck would find it so that he can impress Donna. All right, so that would be success. And that would give them, once again, 1 hero dice. Failure. What's going to happen? Failure would be, I think they still need to find something. Maybe failure would be Chuck falls in the poop. And maybe destroys the sample. We're going to do it. And messes up the sample somehow. But they still manage to get something to test. Because I think they're going to have to go test. Yeah. Now I'm just going to say if it messes up the sample. He loses 1 hero dice. Once again. All right, so that's what would happen. Let's see what happens here. Bowman says 1 to 3 Chuck finds perfect evidence. 4 to 6 Donna finds questionable evidence. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, kind of. So Bowman, I think you're kind of getting the idea of how to set up the success and failure. That's exactly the kind of thing you would do. You would just set it up. And then you would decide, you know, I'm going to have more things eventually, but basically then you would decide if monster dice are removed or hero dice are added, and then what failure would look like. I'm going to have a bunch more effects you can choose from based on the narrative. I think a lot of different effects will fit different like narrative issues. But in the end, it's up to you to decide, you know. And then once again...
Peach, lemon, or black tea?
Ooh.
Too many choices.
Lemon. I'll have lemon tea,
Okay.
thank you. Just lemon, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. So here we go. Are we going to find a pile of laserdactyl poop, or is Chuck going to fall in the poop and look like a real idiot? Chuck looks like an idiot. So Chuck falls in the poop. Chuck, goddamn it, Chuck. I was really rooting for you on that one. All right, so he loses a hero die. Goodbye, hero die, Chuck. All right. In the poop. And messes up the sample. Donna is disgusted. But she finds a feather. She'll find a feather. Feather, so all is not lost. Except for with Chuck. I mean, he just... Wait a minute. Do pterodons have feathers? Did we know? Maybe. They do now. Actually, they do now.
They're pterodactyls.
I'm not sure if they have feathers. They do in this story. Well, no, actually, you know what? I don't think Laserdactyl has a feather. She finds a claw. There we go. Large
That works
claw.
for laserdactyl.
Yeah, claw piece.
Or, I mean, laserdactyl shoots laser beams out of his eyes. She could find something like laser
Charred.
or something.
Yeah, that's
Charred,
true
yeah.
too, yeah. Well, she's going to find a claw piece right now. Although, you know what? You're right. That's not bad. All right, well, anyway, it's too late. It's already happened. I'm using beginner's mind. I'm just going with the first thing that happens. Let's see. So all is not lost. Okay. So he loses another hero die? Chuck, damn it. Get it together, buddy. Get it together. Come on, you're supposed to be a hero. I guess that's what happens, huh? All right, so what do they decide to do now? They decide to run to the lab. And see what they can find.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. All right, so scene... Now we're getting up there. Scene 4. Now everything's going to be 2. Setting. Once again, Chuck and Donna in the lab testing some test tubes. Like she's doing... She has like beakers. She has test tubes. She's pouring stuff, you know. Things are happening. All right, the goal of this one, scene 4, is to find some useful information about Laserdactyl that they can use against him to protect themselves. How about that? Chuck, you had one job, damn it. Chuck is looking like a real asshole so far. I got to tell you, this is just Chuck, and like Donna's just looking at him like, you putz, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see, what would success look like? Donna figures out that Laserdactyl is a meat eater or something. Meat eater with specific, you know, something.
Taste.
Yeah. You know, we don't know yet. So I'm going to say, so this is 2, so I'll say the take away 2 monster dice. So like take away his advantage. Like they got information about him, so then you would take away the monster dice that he would roll. Take away from his total. So failure though. All right, I'm going to say Chuck knocks over the beaker or something. Destroying the evidence. And spilling it on Donna's coat. I don't know why stuff's in a beaker, but it is. All right, you guys, come on. Chuck, damn it. Don't mess this up. We need to find some useful information here. Just try to fucking hold it together. Ah, Chuck! No! He did it again. All right, so Chuck spills the beaker. No, Chuck. No. Spills the beaker. Donna yelled. I mean, she's just had it. And tells him to get out. Get away from her. He's had it. So he loses a... What does he lose? Oh, failure is 2 now. So he'd lose 2 hero dice. Oh, no. Oh, he's down to 2. Maybe if you have all your hero dice gone, that's it. Maybe the monsters have certain types of evidence they drop. Yeah. Good point. We could have stuff like that. For the default monsters, I'm going to put a lot of maybe that kind of flavor stuff. Maybe just like behavioral things they do so that you can use it in the story, you know. That's a good idea. Actually, I'm going to put that up as a note. All right, hold on. Let me put it up as a note here. I guess I'll put that as put in monster behavior for default monsters. Yeah, okay, cool. That's good. I like that. All right, Chuck, you really just botched it. So right now, Chuck has 2 dice. The monster still has 10. The monster hasn't lost any dice right now. This is really rough. All right, Chuck is super emo about it and goes to talk to his friend. Finally, we'll introduce Skip. To find out what to do. All right, there we go. Scene 5. All right, so this is Chuck and Skip in the kitchen. Kitchen. Look, it just corrected it for me. I don't even need to know how to spell anymore. Looks like we need a whole monster behavior section. Yeah. Oh, Bowman says, what if Chuck figured out that Laserdactyl was connected to Montague through DNA sampling? Yeah, right? See? Or Donna figures out Laserdactyl's whereabouts from plants in the poo. Like, it has to be on a certain island. See, Bowman, I think you're really getting the spirit of this. I think you've kind of got the idea. Exactly. It's really just, like, the stuff that just seems most reasonable, that just becomes part of the plot. I know it's weird. I read this book, Lorenz read it too, Impro. It's about, just improv theater. And his whole thing about it was don't try to be creative. Like, the stuff that seems the most normal and boring actually can, like, turn into some of the coolest scenes. Like, really just the first thing you think of can be, way better than something where you try to be clever, right? Yeah. Yeah, Jurassic Park. Yeah. Yeah, and we do need to be able to bring monsters in from, like, any other kind of fiction or whatever. Yeah, I agree. All right, so scene 5 is Chuck and Skip in the kitchen. The goal. Chuck is looks for inspiration to be the hero, right? Although I have to say, I don't know why Chuck is the protagonist of this story right now. There's literally no reason why he should be dealing with the monster rather than anywhere else. Maybe inspiration. Maybe he's not even looking for inspiration to be the hero. Maybe he's looking for inspiration to continue to talk to Donna or something. But no, I guess we'll just do the hero montage thing. He's like, why is he doing this? I don't know. So what does success look like? Skip gives Chuck a big speech, right? And Chuck realizes that he is a hero material. So that's 2 hero dice for Chuck, since this is the 5th scene. Failure. Skip tells Chuck he is a loser and will never amount to anything. Actually, I only have 2 hero dice. So if he lose 2 hero dice, that'll bring him down to 0. And then maybe Chuck will just go home. We don't know. I'm not sure what to do about this. If Chuck loses all of his hero dice, man, wow, seriously? All right, here we go, guys.
Maybe the monster just eats him.
Maybe the monster just eats it. Next scene, like he just goes out to the beach and just, he succeeds. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, my goodness. Chuck. Oh, wow. I thought that was going to be it. I thought, well, Chuck just decides that he's not a hero and he goes home. All right. Chuck is filled with renewed vigor and decides he will go back to the lab and be a hero. All right, scene 6. All right, so he's going back to the lab. Chuck, I know we're all pretty excited. That was almost it. I actually do root for Chuck a little more there. I thought like that was going to be it for Chuck. All right, scene 5. All right, back in the lab. In the lab with Donna. She is really annoyed to see him. But notices a change in his demeanor. A more Chadley change.
A more Chadley change.
Yeah, right? Because she's almost sort of interested. Like he's like pumped up with the like, oh, I got to give him his hero dice. With the speech and stuff. He's like, yeah, maybe I am a hero. You know, and she's like, ooh, what's with Chuck here? This is, you know, I'm feeling things I haven't felt for Chuck. You know what I'm saying? All right, goal. What's he looking for? All right, goal. His goal to get back into the investigation with an incredible idea, which would be, let's see, we'll deal with what that incredible idea is later. I think it'll have to do with the monsters. I'm going to say once again, gaining 2 hero dice. You know, all right, and then oh, that would be okay. That's the goal. I have to actually do that as the success. Chuck becomes inspired by an amazing idea. We don't know what that's going to be yet. Who knows? And is back on the case. Gain 2 hero dice. All right, and then failure. What could it be? What could happen to Chuck? Oh, Montague does have to confront at some point. Yeah. Like they have to discover him doing something bad, right? Maybe that could be the failure. Maybe Montague comes in. If he fails, he comes in and dismisses Chuck. You know, fires him or whatever. Yeah, that'll be. Comes in and hears Chuck's plan and totally rejects it. So if he comes in, and that'll lose 2 hero dice. All right, failure. So it's basically whether the antagonist comes in while he's doing the plan or not, whether he gets Donna on board or whatever. So here we go. Come on, Chuck. Come on, Chuck. Come on, Chuck. Say, oh, failure. Ugh. Montague comes in and overhears. Donna's starting to get excited. But Montague comes in and yells at him. Kicks them out. Maybe you should kick them both out. That way they could still be like on the case or whatever. Yeah, all right. Denying use of the facility. Okay. And then they, all right, I got it. Donna realizes the location. I'm going to use your idea of Laserdactyl from the sample. And they decide to row out there with Skip. In Skip's boat, how about? With Skip in his boat. Yeah, they're going to have to row out there to like find the secret or whatever. All right, I like it. All right, so that was scene 6. So we lost... God. You lost 2 hero dice again. Damn it, Chuck. Damn it. You're not going to beat the monster this way. Scene 7. We're getting up there. So now these are 3. These are 3 dice of each kind now. It's getting serious. Setting. So at sea in a boat with Skip. All right. So success. All right. The goal is to get to Monster Island. All right. Let's see. To Laser Dactyl's Island. Wow. I hope it just corrects it. All right. So success. So I'm going to say Laser Dactyl's probably going to like attack them either way. All right. Laser Dactyl sees them and takes flight. Oh, I'm going to say this isn't during the success part. This is going to happen success or failure. I think Laser Dactyl has to do this. Get to Laser Dactyl's Island. Let's see. Paste here. Takes flight. All right. He like makes, all right, success. Right. Anyway, you got it. All right, success would be Skip sails like a champ, avoiding lasers. So like a champ, avoiding lasers, and gets them to the island. Okay. That would be, and then, so if they get to the island, avoiding the lasers, that would be a pretty big advance. So this is 3. So I'm almost like, would we take away 3 of the monsters dice? Or would I give 3 hero dice? I guess I would give 3 hero dice. All right, failure. Laser Dactyl. Lasers the boat. Putting who in peril? Is it Donna in peril or is it Skip? Let's put Skip in peril first, not his love interest. And he's peril 3. So if they fail, I'm gonna have to roll 3 dice, and Skip could potentially be killed. So Laser Dactyl, do we get to the island? Do we not? What's happening here? Let's do it. 1, we succeed. We need a way to determine who would be in peril there. Yeah, maybe there's a more random way of determining peril. I'm going to write that as a note. Different way of determining peril. Hey, Loren. Could you maybe talk to John a little bit? Way of determining peril. Let's see. That should feel out of our control. And then Bowman says failure. Skip dies getting them to the island. Hey, thanks, Loren.
Yeah.
Let's see. Laser Dactyl lasers the boat, putting Skip in peril 3. So, all right, let's see what happens. So we're going to have either we get to the island. I think that's going to give us a big advantage. Like, we'll be near his lair or whatever. Otherwise, he's puts the boat in peril. We'll probably still wash up on the island, though, I imagine. All right, here we go. 2. Success. We got another success here. All right, so Skip gets them to the island.
Good job, Skip.
Yeah. There could be a way where he could face peril anyway, even on a success. Who knows, right? Like Bowman said, maybe he actually dies getting them to the island. That would be very movie-like. So even on a success, maybe I'll think of some way of like, or maybe you can add peril to get even more reward. Maybe that's where we do the... I'm going to write that as a thing. To a success to get more reward. And so you can add peril to a success too. Okay. That seems reasonable.
That's cool.
So Skip gets it because Skip could die getting him to the island. I think that would be cool. I think that's a good idea, Bowman. I think that should totally be a possibility. All right. So he gets him to the island. there is a huge hill in the center of the island with a huge nest. I think they decide they have to go there. I mean, I guess. I'm not sure what they're doing. That totally fits in narratively and does something structurally. I like it. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I think that'll actually work. I think it would be cool to add that possibility. Maybe you don't even have to. Maybe you don't have to put him in danger, but you just don't get as much. Oh, so I did get 3 hero dice there. We're back up to 5. So we're back up to the beginning. Like, I have 5 and the monster has 10. This has been quite a struggle. You know what I'm saying? A risk roll. Yeah, I'll probably keep it just as peril. Yeah. I mean, peril's the only really kind of risk. Your characters can be killed, you know. All right, so they decide to go there. That was the end of that scene. Scene 8. Oh, we're getting there, guys. Oh, my gosh. Setting. So this scene would be at the nest. Or no, this scene would be maybe trekking through the island. I think Laserdactyl is, again, probably going to try to, like, maybe stop him. Trekking toward the nest through thick jungle. Laserdactyl circles in the sky, but can't see them. But can't see them because of the tree cover. Yes, yes. A risk roll. Sorry, misspelled Rickroll. I even got like Rickrolled by text, like by chat. Nice job, Bowman. I mean, there's no avoiding it. The Rickroll is, not to be stopped. It is inevitable. All right, through thick jungle. Through a thick jungle. Okay, so that's what's happening on the setting. What's the goal? To get to the nest and find something that could help them along the way. Let's see. You watched a Rick Roll the other day. Yeah, I actually unironically like watching that song once in a while. It's actually a pretty good song. I know it sounds terrible. Success. They find evidence that Laserdactyl is nesting or something. Has babies. How about? They find evidence that it has babies. Maybe they even hear the things. And even... Alright, yeah, we'll just say that they find evidence that it has babies. I think that that'll make the lose 3 monster... Or take 3 monster dice. Like, find information about it. And that's 3... Failure. Laserdactyl sees them and starts lasering the forest. They have to take cover in a cave. They don't make it to the nest. What would that be? I think that would just like let's make gain monster dice. 3 monster dice. Or maybe that's peril. That's honestly peril, isn't it? That's 3 peril for somebody. Are we going to say skip? I'm going to say we'll roll randomly. 1 to 3 it's Skip. 4 to 6 it's Donna. It's Skip again. He's in peril. So Skip faces peril 3. All right, let's see what happens. Never Gonna Give You Up is a song of a generation. It really is, Bowman. There's no doubt about it. In fact, if our characters could hear the sweet voice of Rick Astley right now, maybe that would provide the You know, inspiration. All right, so let's see if they succeed or failure. This is a big one. This is 3. Let's see what happens. Let's say, oh no, Laserdactyl sees them. All right, the forest erupts in flames as Laserdactyl wildly fires lasers all over the forest. They run for a nearby cave. All right, so now we have to see if we have to see if Skip survives or not. So there's 3 peril dice. If I roll a 6 on any of these, Skip dies.
No.
Hey, welcome, Mystic. How you doing? We're at a very dramatic moment. Skip is in danger here. This is very dangerous. I'm going to see what happens here. No! He survives.
Oh.
Wow. Skip dives out of the way. Just in time. And they cower in the cave. To catch their breath in the cave. Okay, that's cool. Chuck realizes. I don't know why are we going to the nest though? I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. Actually, that's just a big plot hole. We'll deal with that. Apparently, monster movies have giant plot holes, and we're gonna deal with that. Chuck realizes he has to go alone. Oh, maybe the dies the way just in time and breaks his arm. So Donna has to stay and take care of him. And cuts himself. We'll say. Because that's maybe more something you'd have to stay and take care of. He has to go on alone. To take care of Skip's injury. Wow, that's rough. All right, so this next scene, scene 9, this is right before the climax. There's going to be a climax in the movie next. Scene 10 is always just going to be the climax, regardless of where you're at. Leave my forest alone. Yeah, all right. Sorry. We're not really sure why we're here, but we are here to disturb the Laserdactyl. For some reason. I'm not really sure. I noticed that a lot in the old monster movies. Like, why don't you just sort of leave the old, leave the monster alone? Why are you messing with the monster? All right, setting. The jungle as Chuck runs for the nest. All right, he's running for the nest. His goal to get to the nest and find out what's going on. All right, so what success looks like. Laserdactyl circles in the air, but doesn't see him. Flying to the other side of the island. And I'm going to say gain 3 hero dice. That'll be what he does. And then the failure, Laserdactyl spots him. And starts shooting. Now what's going to happen? So the character can't be in peril. The main protagonist can't be in peril until the final scene. But so we'll just take dice where we'll add monster dice. Add 3 monster dice. All right, so let's see what happens. Come on, Chuck. We're rooting for you. Come on, success, buddy. 2. Oh. So he does. So he doesn't see him. Laserdactyl's on the other side of the island. All right. It to the nest. While Laserdactyl is on the other side of the island. Okay. Yar. He climbs into the nest to investigate. All right, and then what's in the nest? The sea mines. Oh, unexploded sea mines. That's probably a good idea. Like, you know, but you can't kill the mon. That's the whole thing about this. Like, the monster's like pretty much unkillable. It can be driven away, or its threat removed somehow, or like it you know, retreats to the sea or something. Let's see. He finds like 3 baby laser dactyls.
Oh my god! So
All right.
cute!
All right, so scene 10. Oh, that's so he gets 3 hero dice. So things aren't quite as bad for Chuck as I thought. It's still pretty bad though. Baby dactyl. All right, now is the final climactic scene. So we're gonna say the setting in the nest of laser dactyl with the giant laser dactyl babies. All right, so success, I would say. Chuck. Now this is going to be the final die roll where we roll all the dice. This is the climactic moment. So this is like, you know, the super final moment. I don't roll just one to 3 success dice. I roll all of them and, you know, see whose is. If the hero's dice total is higher, it's success. If the monster's dice total is higher, it's failure. All right, so success for Chuck looks like Chuck realizes that the laser dactyl just cares about its babies and finds a way, comes up with a plan to stop laser dactyl from rampaging. Right?
Yeah.
That would be success. Failure, laser dactyl returns to the nest. Picks up Chuck in his beak and grinds him to pulp
Okay.
to feed the babies.
Yeah. Poor Chuck. But, I mean, you know.
So this is success and failure. These are the stakes. Either Chuck, like, you know, maybe he has like a tender scene with the babies where the babies are like, "Mrr," and he's like, oh, the babies, right? Or he's literally eaten by the babies. All right, so first I'll roll the monster's dice for total. See what the total is. See what the total is I have to beat. It's a lot of dice here. We'll just sort of organize it a little bit. Yeah, it is a lot of dice. All right, we'll do 5s. So that's 20, 30, 35, 37 is the total that we have to beat on. How many dice is this? 8 dice. 8 6-sided dice. We have to roll 30 higher than 37. Dude, I am kind of having a problem here. Let's see. We got some good rolls here. All right, so that's 10, 20, 25, 26.
Oh, no!
Guys, this is kind of tragic. But yeah, Chuck is. All right. We'll even have the while Donna and Skip stare on. Chuck is ground to pieces and fed to the babies. All right, well there we go. Epilogue. I guess what happens? Yeah, the baby dactyls are cute. I mean, it's kind of good. Chuck was kind of a loser, guys. I mean, you know, it was probably best that he fed the babies. Honestly, don't feel too bad. Let's see an epilogue. Donna. Let's see Donna marries Montague. And they live happily ever after. No, I don't know. It shouldn't marry Montague. Epilogue, Donna moves back to the States. How about she moves with Skip? And they start a new family. That'll be the sort of silver lining. There we go. I think his sacrifices saved Skip and... Yeah, that's kind of what happened, yeah. So those two... yeah, that's a good idea. besides him just dying. But they come back and have a nice epilogue there. All right, so there you go, guys. That is there's Kaiju Quest RPG episode 8. I think it's still pretty fun. I actually did play the whole thing. We got to scene 10. It was still a story. I felt like the people were sort of people. You know, during an actual movie, I think you would have more maybe character development. Maybe there has to be a place to like actually role play scenes or something. I'd be curious to try this one multiplayer now at some point. I mean, it's fun solo, but you know, they adopt a baby dactyl and name it Chuck. Yeah, there's what would happen in the movie. Like they'd have maybe 3 of them. You know, maybe Donna would be like, I just miss Chuck. You know, he was such a good guy. And Skip's like, well, how about these cute baby dactyls? And then she'd be like, you're right. I forget all about Chuck, you know, and hug the baby dactyls or whatever. Yeah. The glitter ball party. Oh, Mystic. Mystic Gnome appears and throws a mirror glitter disco ball party where laser dactyls spit lasers everywhere. That's not a bad idea. This is why I want to play it multiplayer, because I think that, you know, if you did it sort of collaboratively, it really would be a story that no one would see coming. I didn't see it. I didn't know this stuff was going to happen. This stuff just sort of appeared in my mind. I mean, I don't know if it's a totally compelling movie, but I had fun doing it, and it is solo, so there you go. I'm actually having fun playing it so far. I think the real fun's going to come in. I think that was nice and that was fun. But I think the real fun's going to come in with the different kinds of dice and maybe doing some re-rolls, having some special powers. You know, I don't know. We'll see. But actually, those die rolls themselves were enough. I think the characters facing peril, monster hero dice and monster dice, that seemed to be fine. I like the success rate being half and half. That was better. The other one was just a little too grim, you know. At moment, this is now a movie in my head. I mean, it could be like, would you be surprised to see that movie where these people did this in a movie? No, not really. And then even after the movie, you'd be like, wait, why were they going to the nest in the first place? And maybe you wouldn't know, you know, but it really doesn't matter in that kind of movie, I don't think. Maybe there can be a way to like add a little bit more motivation. I'm not really sure. But I'm pretty happy with it, actually. I'd be willing to actually like play test this and play with you guys now at this point. I think this is actually game enough where we could play the game. And that would actually be a way to find out some of the strengths and weaknesses of the game. I'm sure there has to be a system for agreeing. Like, at some point, people are going to disagree about what to do. And basically, the system has to take that into account. It's almost like making a political system. See, here we are. This is what's going to happen. I'm just going to make Kaiju Quest, right? But I'm actually going to discover a new political system. It's going to be, you know, beyond just a game at that point. Nicolas Cage, directed by James Cameron. Death Guy, I wonder if you're running too many characters solo. Yeah, it seems like it actually. I noticed that Montague had like one part in the whole thing, and it was kind of contrived. He did show up. He wasn't a very good antagonist, and I'm starting to. Okay, I don't know. Remember we read that article about monster movies, and a lot of times the monster is the antagonist. So I'm kind of wondering, maybe I need to even take. I'm going to write that down I'm going to think about that. Maybe the antagonist role is not necessary. Wow, maybe actually that's a good point. Because it's the monster. And is filled by monster. Yeah. Okay, that's a really good point. Mystic, you're saying no Michael Bay for this one? Maybe, you know, because it's a laser thing that blows stuff up. There could be a lot of explosions at the lab. I could see the movie where, you know, the lab, laser dactyl just shows up. You know, he doesn't just hit like buildings, he hits those like propane tanks. You know, and they're all over the place in video games. Exploding tanks. I think that laser dactyl would hit those. Would a multiplayer need to have a DM? No, actually, no. This whole thing is supposed to be designed, since you can play it solo, everybody's going to kind of share the DM duties, basically. If you wanted to, though, I could see where, like, honestly, I'm going to probably run the games at first. So you can, I guess. I wonder if there should be option for that in the game where you can have a DM and maybe even have a hidden monster that you don't know about yet. That could be fun for the players. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. A DM version where you don't know what the monster is. That's the only reason you really need a DM is when there's hidden information that the players can't really know. Like in this one, you know, you can't really have the hidden information because you're the GM and the player at the same time. It's sort of the weird, I would say, difficulty of solo RPGs, right? That you have to play both kind of at the same time. The way I'm getting around that is going with that whole first thing that comes to mind. Like, I'm not sitting there and thinking stuff up. I'm really not. Like, I'm literally just like, all right, what are they doing? And I just sort of think about it. I see a picture, and that's what they're doing. I don't want to, like, have to make anything up. I don't want to have to, like, struggle to do stuff. It's supposed to be a fun game. You know, even if you're playing solo, you know. Harryhausen. Oh, yeah. Good call, Loren. Harryhausen could totally direct this movie. Especially Laser Dactyl, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could be a stop motion guy. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm liking this. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. That was a lot of fun. I still had fun with this one. It actually even went over like an hour and 45 minutes. I'm surprised. I usually make these sessions like an hour, but I actually had enough fun where I just finished the game. I felt a tiny bit of drag around like scene 2 or 3 where I was like, oh God, there's 10 scenes. I'm going to have to do 10 scenes. And so that thought did hit my mind a little bit. So I'm wondering about that, but about maybe having a set number of scenes where it makes you feel like you have to get somewhere. Maybe you shouldn't have to feel that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Just something I'm thinking of. But that thought, those kind of thoughts never entered my mind really any other time in the game. Death Climb, you're saying I felt a little drag like 6 to 8. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, there was a little bit there, I think, but also because I was like sidetracked and talking about other stuff too. So I'm curious, maybe one of these times I'll do it. Try to be more focused. Trying to fit in the Montague stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm actually going to take out the antagonist. Yeah. No, I agree. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, Bowman, thanks for hanging out, man. See you later, dude. I think I'm going to get off here soon, too. But that was really good. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks, everybody. Good vibes till next time.